Hello students, welcome to All4 e-learning. So the previous videos we gone through parallelogram law vectors. Now I will try to explain remaining concepts of vectors. See, condition for collision. X-axis, y-axis. Here I am taking two particles. First particle name A, second particle name B. Position of A particle at a distance of r1 bar. Position vector of B particle is r2 bar. It's the origin. A particle location is r1 bar. B particle location is r2 bar. Now A particle it's moving with velocity v1, B particle it's moving with velocity v2. Now after t seconds these two particles making a collision. How? See here it started. A particle at t equal to 0, here the particle at the time of 0. Now A particle going with v1 velocity, it reaches here. Now, how much distance it would travel? Something x1 bar. What is that x1 bar? X1 bar is distance traveled by a particle with a velocity something v1. Displacement is equal to velocity into time. Now here this one. B particle going with a velocity v2. It was traveled x2 bar. What is x2 bar? Displacement is equal to velocity into time, v2 bar into t. So a particle travel x1 bar displacement because a particle moving with a velocity v1. Displacement equal to velocity into time, v1 bar t. Displacement of B particle is x2 bar, that is v2 bar into t. Now overall A particle, B particle, they are doing collision here. Now see here, from initial point, now A particle, B particle, final location is same. Once again, A particle, B particle, finally they are at the same position with respect to origin. Now see here, A particle. See this is like triangle law vectors. R1 bar, X1 bar. See here, head connected to the tail, that is the addition of two vectors. These two representing two sides of triangle, resultant is closing side. This I don't know. Let this vector I can call as R bar. Now R1 bar plus X1 bar is equal to R bar. R1 bar plus x1 bar is equal to r bar. Now for x1 bar what I can write? v1 bar t. r1 bar plus v1 bar t is equal to r bar. This is the equation of position vector of particle A after t seconds. Similarly B particle after t seconds, this is the location. What is the position vector of B? Same r bar. Now for B particle, these two representing two sides of triangle, this is closing side of the triangle. R2 bar plus x2 bar is equal to r bar. R2 bar plus x2 bar is equal to r bar. Now here what is x2 bar? v2 bar t is equal to r bar. See, for A particle final position vector, for B particle final position vectors are same. Now can I equate this and this, because r bar same for the both equations. Now I will write here r bar, r1 bar plus v1 bar t, that is equal to second equation, r2 bar plus v2 bar t. Now R2 bar, can I bring this side? R1 bar minus R2 bar This I took this side. Now V1 bar t I am taking this side. Now it will become V2 bar t as it is minus V1 bar t. Now R1 bar minus R2 bar is equal to t common. V2 bar minus V1 bar. So here I got one equation, R1 bar minus R2 bar is equal to T into V2 bar minus V1. So that equation I will write here. So for my convenience, I will rub these 2 points. From there, R1 bar minus R2 bar is equal to V2 bar minus V1 bar into T. See, T is a scalar. So this is a vector. This vector is scalar multiple of another vector. Now these two are collinear. Once again, this vector is a scalar multiple of second one. Now these two vectors are collinear. What's the meaning of collinear? Both are along same direction. Maybe magnitude different. This vector direction same. Direction same, then I can equate unit vector, because unit vector is giving information about direction. So this vector direction same, because these two are collinear. Now R1 bar minus R2 bar vector and V2 bar minus V1 bar vector, unit vectors are equal. Unit vectors are equal. Both are along the same direction. Now here I will write unit vectors and I will equate unit vectors of both the particles. This vector, unit vector. See, you know that A cap is unit vector of A bar, that is A bar by mod A bar. Now this is the unit, this vector, unit vector how much? Like this. R1 bar minus R2 bar by vector by R1 bar minus R2 bar magnitude. Come to this one. Unit vector of V2 bar minus V1 bar. Vector by magnitude of the vector. So unit vector of R1 bar minus R2 bar, unit vector of V2 bar minus V1 bar equal. Now here condition for collision, this is the equation. So A particle initially at a position of R1 bar, B particle initially at a position of R2 bar. After t seconds, two particles are going to be do collision. Why? Because A particle going with a velocity V1, it was traveled x1 bar displacement. B particle moving with a velocity V2, after t second it was traveled a displacement of x2 bar. Now two particles A and B, after t seconds they reached here. Now from initial point, A particle, B particle both are at the same location. Now position vector of A particle, B particle same after t seconds. Now use triangle law. R bar is a closing side, R1 bar, x1 bar both are two sides of triangle. For A particle I wrote there. Next for B particle also I wrote there. For A particle R bar, for B particle R bar same, I equated there. Finally I got the equation R1 bar minus R2 bar is equal to T into V2 bar minus V1 bar. This equation is telling us here R1 bar minus R2 bar and V2 bar minus V1 bar both are collinear. When the two vectors are collinear, their unit vectors are equal. So I equated unit vectors of R1 bar minus R2 bar and V2 bar minus V1 bar. I think you understand this question. See, when you are studying vector laws, we gone through different laws. What are those? We gone through triangle law vectors. We gone through parallelogram law vectors. Next one, polygon law of vectors. What's the meaning of polygon? Poly meaning is many. Here we are going to take polygon. What is the meaning of polygon law vectors or statement of polygon law vectors? If we are taking n vectors are of same kind. What is the meaning of same kind? All the vectors of same physical quantity. all are may be force, all are may be velocities, all are may be accelerations. All the vectors of polygon should be same kind of vector. One side is force, another side is acceleration, another side is velocity, we are not going to consider. When we are applying polygon law vectors, all the sides of polygon should be same kind. Now, here we are taking n sides of polygon. You can construct with any number of sides. This is the force, this also force, this also force, this also force. Same magnitude. This is F, it is not going to be 2F. Here same magnitude. I took same magnitude F, 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 F. Now not only 6, you can take n sides. Now here exactly statement is, here we are going to take n vectors, those are all having same magnitude but directions are different, but all are moving in one order. If all are moving in one order, the total net force acting on a particle on a system is 0. Once again, n sides of polygon representing a vector, all the vectors should be of same kind, those are in a same plane. Now they are having same magnitude and they are moving in one order. See this, all are moving in one order. Now the final resultant of all the vectors is 0. This is the polygon law vector statement. Same thing, I will tell you one more way, similar to triangle law. See, leave one side of polygon, except one side, see all the sides. All the vectors except one we are observing. Now vectors of same kind in the same plane, now these are all giving resultant. How much? This much. It's similar to triangle law. This overall together 1. Now the final resultant is this. These two equal and opposite, now you are getting 0. Once again, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 5 vector resultant, how much you are getting, this closing side also giving the same thing. Now the resultant is 0. Suppose this is x, this is also x. Equal and opposite you will get 0. Once again, all the sides of parallelogram giving resultant, that resultant is closing side, that is opposite to final side of polygon. Now the final resultant of all the vectors is 0. I think you got the statement of polygon law vectors. The total sum of all the vectors, those are in same plane. Now the resultant of all the forces is, all the vectors is 0 when they are in same plane. I think you got the clarity of polygon law vector statement. Now to get the equilibrium in one plane, different magnitude of vectors I am going to take it in one plane. Now the question is, how many minimum number of vectors required to get 0 force or equilibrium condition? Same plane but different magnitudes. See F1, F2. What is the resultant? Root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta is the resultant. Here I took two vectors of different magnitudes. To balance this, I want one more third vector. So these two equal and opposite, now I will get resultant is 0. In a plane, vectors I am taking of different magnitudes. To get the final resultant is 0, how many vectors required? 3 vectors minimum required. The resultant of 2 vectors is this. Now third vector is equal and opposite, then we required 3 vectors. If you required 3, without 3 we are not going to get equilibrium of particle. Suppose I am not going to take 2D, I am taking 3D. If you take 3D, again different magnitudes of vectors if you are taking, minimum number of force required are 4, because 1, 2, 1 more 3. These three resultant is acting one direction. Suppose these two resultant is acting like this. Now again these two resultant is going to balance third one. 1, 2 resultant, again these two resultant. So here we completed 3 forces, one more force is there. Now here resultant of these two is going to balance. So minimum 4 vectors are required to get the equilibrium. If you take 3D, if you take 2D, how many vectors are required? 3 vectors are required. Now see here, continuation of polygon law vectors. If n is number of sides of polygon, n is equal to 2 pi by theta, then resultant of all the vectors is 0. Now if you are taking force, now the resultant force is 0. What is theta? Theta is angle between two forces or two vectors of polygon. So number of sides of polygon 2 pi by theta. What is theta? Theta is angle between any of the two forces. Those should be consecutive forces or consecutive vectors. The resultant force is 0. Can I show one example for this? Polygon, force, 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 force. I took 4 forces. Here what is the angle between any two vectors? 90. F. Can you write here? Parallel shifting. Two tail join. What is the angle between two forces? 90. And theta 90. How many number of sides are there? 360 by 90. How many sides? 4 sides. Now satisfying this equation, angle between two vectors 90, the number of sides 4. Now how many sides are there? 4 sides. Then the net force should be 0. Verify. See FF, equal and opposite. FF, equal and opposite. What is the net force? 0. Forces equal and opposite, net force 0. When I got this, in a closed polygon, all the vectors of having same magnitude but different directions. Now here we are having a condition, number of sides of polygon n is 360 by theta. What is theta? 90. Here I am getting 4, here also I have 4 sides. Now it's satisfying this condition. Now the resultant force is 0. Suppose I am taking 3 sides. If n is equal to 360 by theta minus 1, n is number of sides. Now what is F? Now angle between these two 90. Angle between these two 90. See, one side is not there here, only 3 there. 360 by 90 minus 1. 4 minus 1. 3. Here 3 sides are there. So here n is equal to not 360 by theta. Here n is equal to 360 by theta minus 1 because 1, 2, 3 sides. 3 sides. Now exactly 360 by theta, resultant force 0. If number of sides not 360 by theta, it's having a value of 360 by theta minus 1, then the resultant force is F. Because see these two equal and opposite. These two cancel. What is the left over here? F is the left over here. So you should observe this condition. Number of side 2 pi by theta, then resultant force 0 in the polygon law vectors. If number of sides 360 by theta minus 1, then the resultant force is F. It's not 0. Please take care and follow these points and try to remember directly. We will apply these are in numericals. See, I am going for one more example. Polygon AB, BC, CD, DE, EF, FA. See, AB vector, BC vector, CD vector, DE vector, EF vector and FA vector. Completed polygon, closed polygon. Now prove that AB bar plus AC bar plus AD bar. See, from point A to all, A to B, A to C, A to D, A to E, A to F, total sum. AD completed. Now AE bar plus AF bar. The total sum of these all the vectors is 6. This is center of polygon. Let it be O. Now 6 AO bar. This we should prove it. AB bar plus AC bar plus AD bar plus AE bar plus AF bar is equal to 6 AO bar. I should prove it. See here. See AB bar, DE bar. See, regular hexagon. These two equal and opposite. A to B, D to E. Opposite and equal. Now AB bar is equal to minus DE bar. Next, see here, these two parallel. Two sides are equal and opposite. B to C, E to F, both are equal and opposite. BC bar is equal to minus EF bar. Similarly, FA bar, CD bar, both are equal and opposite, these two sides. CD bar is equal to minus FA bar. And one more, in regular hexagon, this side is double the side of this is double. So this is AO, this also AO. Overall AD is 2 AO bar. This also AO, this also AO. These two going to be equal. Now here I will write one more. AD bar is equal to this diagonal, that is 2 AO bar. This equal, total length of this diagonal is 2 times AO bar. Now I will come to the question. What is our question? AB bar plus AC bar plus AD bar plus AE bar plus AF bar. See here, AD bar is equal to 2 AO bar. So don't change this, because final answer in terms of AO bar, AD already I know that 2 AO bar. So AD I don't want to change. Remaining terms I will try to change. See here, AB bar. As is. See, what is AC? Triangle law. A to B, B to C. Two sides of parallelogram. Now the resultant is closing side how much? AC. Now AC bar is equal to AB bar plus BC bar. Triangle law vectors. AC bar is equal to AB bar plus BC bar. Now AC bar I will replace AB bar plus BC bar. Now AD asterisk plus AE. What about AE? This is the AE. This is AE. AE. See this. AD, DE, two sides of triangle. Resultant is AE. AD plus DE is equal to AE. Now AE I will write as AD bar plus DE bar plus AF bar. What is AF bar? So this is AF. This is AF. A to F. AF. What is AF bar? Now AE plus EF, that is AF bar. AE plus EF, two sides of triangle. AE plus EF is equal to AF bar. Now AF bar I will write there. What I will write? AE bar plus EF bar. Now see here, AB bar, DE bar both are opposite. AB bar, DE bar both are opposite. BC bar, EF bar both are equal and opposite. some terms gone. Now again I got AB bar plus AD bar plus AD bar. What is the AE bar? Is this the AE bar? AD plus DE. AE is AD bar plus DE. AE is AD plus DE. Now again AB is equal to minus DE. Both are equal and opposite. AD bar plus AD bar plus AD bar. 3 AD bar. What is AD bar? 2 times AO bar. Now what is the answer? 6 AO bar. So what is we observed here? Now I took polygon, regular hexagon, AB bar, BC bar, CD bar, DE bar, EF bar, FA bar are sides of polygon. Now here they are asking a condition, AB bar vector plus C bar vector plus AD bar plus AE bar plus AF bar, total sum is 6 AO bar. Now here I got some points, these two equal and opposite, these two equal and opposite, these two equal and opposite. Now this diagonal is twice the AO, AD bar is equal to 2 times AO bar. These conditions I wrote here. Now I am trying to explain that. Now AB bar as it is first term. What is AC bar? This is AC. AB bar plus BC bar equal to AC bar triangle law. Next AD bar as it is AE bar. This is AE. AD bar plus DE bar is equal to AE. Similarly I went for third one AF bar. It's a AF. A to F. Now AE bar plus FE bar, EF bar is equal to AF bar. Substituted. Finally I got the answer. That resultant of 5 vectors is nothing but of 6 AO bar. So next one is Lami's theorem. Lami's theorem, when we should apply? When the body or a particle that is in equilibrium and the forces are coplanar and concurrent, then only we will apply this Lami's theorem. What is the condition? Body should be in equilibrium. What is the meaning of equilibrium? Total force should be 0. And I am telling you all the forces are coplanar and concurrent. What is the meaning of coplanar and concurrent? All should be in same plane and starting from the same point. If vectors are lines, they are starting from the same point and they are in the same plane, those are coplanar and concurrent. Now, here I am taking, it's a particle or an object, it is in equilibrium. See, this is P bar, this is Q bar, this is R bar, 3 forces. P bar, Q bar, R bar are 3 forces, are 3 vectors. Now, here this particle is in equilibrium. What is the meaning of equilibrium? Total force acting on it is 0. The resultant of these two R bar, both equal and opposite, then this particle is going to be equilibrium. Once again, these two forces, resultant is this, these two equal and opposite, then there is a possibility of this particle is at rest or equilibrium. Yeah, not rest, 4-0. Now here, let P bar opposite angle alpha, Q bar, this opposite beta, R bar opposite gamma. Now what is the Lami's theorem? P bar by magnitude, P by opposite alpha, sin alpha, Q divided by opposite beta, sin of beta, that is equal to, here is equal to R by sin of angle gamma. What is the Lami's theorem condition? Force by sin of opposite angle, force by sin of opposite angle, force by sin of opposite angle. So here how these this equation we got it. In trigonometry we have sine rule. By using sine rule we will prove this. You don't want proof, even then I will try to explain how we got this equation. P by sin alpha is equal to Q by sin beta is equal to R by sin gamma. To explain this we require sine rule in trigonometry. What is sine rule? Triangle, see this, side length A, side length B, side length C. A opposite angle capital A, B opposite angle capital B, C opposite angle, it takes small c, it's a capital C. Side A opposite angle is A capital A, B capital B angle, C capital C angle. According to sine rule, length A by sine of opposite angle, B by sine of opposite angle, C by sine of opposite angle. For this side, opposite angle A by sine of opposite angle, B by sine of opposite angle, C by sine of opposite angle. This proof you will have a discussion in your mathematics. You have a proof in your mathematics. Now we are not going to details of this proof. Now directly I am using this condition to prove this. I think I can use this equation. Now see, three forces, P bar, Q bar, R bar. P bar, Q bar, R bar, three vectors. P bar vector, Q bar vector, R bar vector. Now here, what is the angle between P bar and Q bar? Gamma. Two tails, P bar vector tail, Q bar vector tail. Two tail joined angle gamma. In between PQ. See here, parallel shifting. This is P bar. Now two tails. This is gamma. Now what about this? 180 minus gamma. Now come to here. Q. Parallel shifting of Q. Now two tails. Q bar vector tail, R bar vector tail. So here QR. Q vector tail, R bar vector tail. What is the angle between these two? Alpha. This is alpha. Total 180. Now this is 90 minus alpha. Next, this is R bar. Parallel shifting. It's a R bar. Now R bar tail, P bar tail joined. P bar R bar tails. Now what is the angle between P bar and R bar? Beta. Now this is beta. What about this? Pi minus beta. Now here this angle is pi minus gamma. It's a pi minus alpha. It's a pi minus beta. Now what exactly the sine rule? Side by sine of opposite angle ratio same. P by sine of pi minus alpha. This is sine rule. Q by sine of opposite angle, pi minus beta. R by sine of opposite angle, sine of pi minus gamma. Now P by pi minus 180 minus angle is second quadrant. In second quadrant sine positive. For 360 and 180 sine will be sine. This is sine alpha. Q by sine beta, R by sine gamma. Now I got the proof. See here, P by sine alpha is equal to Q by sine beta is equal to R by sine gamma. This is our statement. Our proof also telling the same thing. Now what is the logic? We should use the condition of sine rule in trigonometry. According to sine rule, side length by sine of angle ratio for any side of the triangle is same. A by sin A is equal to B by sin B is equal to C by sin C. By using that ratio, we proved finally Lami's theorem proof. I think you understand the Lami's theorem statement. Once again, I will conclude Lami's theorem statement and I will go for examples of Lami's theorem. What exactly the Lami's theorem statement is? Here we have a particle, this particle in equilibrium, then we will apply Lami's theorem. And the three forces are coplanar and concurrent. What's the meaning of coplanar and concurrent? They are starting from single point, same point, and all three forces in one plane. Then we will apply this Lami's theorem. Understood my point? Shall I go for examples of this Lami's theorem? See example 1 for better understanding of Lami's theorem. Just dotted line. It's a wire. It's support. It's the first wire. It's the second wire. Let this is 30 degrees. This is 60 degrees. This is a T1. This is T2. Tension in this wire is T1. Tension in this wire is T2. Here I am taking 900 Newton's force. Here how many forces are there? This is in equilibrium. Always when I am applying Lami's theorem, this point or a substance, it should be in equilibrium. It's not a point, it's like object. This object or a particle, it is in equilibrium. Then only we will apply this Lami's theorem. See, T1 by sine of opposite angle. T2 by sine of opposite angle. 900 by sine of opposite angle. So now, T1 by sine of, what is the opposite angle? 90 plus 60. Sine of 90 plus 60. Next, T2 by sine of opposite angle, 90 plus 30 is equal to 900 by, what about this? Total 180. This total 180. This is 90. What about this? 90. Sine of 90. Equate these two, you will get T1. Equate these two, you will get T2. Right? Now, T1 by sine of 90 plus 60. This is second quadrant. 90 plus second quadrant. In second quadrant, sine will be positive. For 90 to 70, sine will be cos. It's a cos 60. T2 by cos 30. 900 by sine 91. Can I equate both of them? Can I equate these two? Can I equate these two? Equating first and last one. T1 by cos 60 is equal to 900. T1 by, what about the cos 60 value? 1 by 2 is equal to 900 Newtons. So now here it's going to this side. How much? 1 by 2 is going this side. 450 Newtons. Now can you equate 2 and 3? T2 by cos 30 is equal to 900. Now T2 is equal to cos 30 value root 3 by 2 and 900 will be as it is. Now it will be 450. So answer 450 root 3 Newtons. Sometimes they will ask you T1 T2 ratio, or they will ask you find the values of T1 and T2. Here I got T1 T2 values. After getting T1 T2 values, can you find the ratio of T1 and T2? Yes. 450 by 450 root 3. The ratio of T1 and T2 is 1 by root 3. Here T1 is the tension in the first wire. T2 is the tension in the second wire, and there is a force acting on the particle downward is 900. Here I am observing three forces and particle in equilibrium. Now I will go for applying Lami's theorem. T1 by sine of opposite angle 90 plus 60. T2 by sine of opposite angle 90 plus 30. 900 by sine of opposite angle sine 90. After applying that, I got the final answer T1 and T2. See, it's not the point like always we should apply Lami's theorem. Starting third class maybe, without using Lami's theorem also we did these models. How? Resolving of components. T1 this side T1 cos 30, this side T1 sin 30. T2 this side T2 cos 60, this side T1 sin 60. Horizontal forces equal, vertical forces equal. Now the net force is 0. By using this also we can prove that T1 T2 values and we can find T1 T2 ratio also. So we can use directly Lami's theorem, otherwise we can go for resolution of a vector. Have understand? Already that method we did that, because of that we are going to solve these questions by using Lami's theorem. See this example, this already they asked in the exam, like it's a horizontal support. Length of horizontal support is 5 centimeters. Here we are taking two wires. Now this is like a particle or an object. Mass of this particle is 500 grams. Now the first wire, it's the second wire. Let tension in this wire T1, let tension in the wire is T2. Now what is the weight of this particle here? mg. M is 500 by 1000, converting into kgs, into g value 10. Now weight of the particle is, now I think 3 zeros are there, 3 zeros are there. Now it is 5 newtons is the weight of the particle. Now here, to apply Lami's theorem, I know the forces and I don't know the angles. For that what I will do here? So in trigonometry, 3, 4, 5. This is 53 degrees. This is 37 degrees. It's 90 degrees. You should remember this triangle. Now see here. So here, one more point they given in the question. This is 4 centimeters length of the wire. This is 3 centimeters length of the wire. 4 centimeters is the length of the wire. 3 centimeters is the length of the wire. This is not like a wire. It's a support. Fixed support. Like a beam. Horizontal beam. On that beam, two wires are hanging. Now 4, 3, 5. 4, 3, 5. Angle between 4 and 3, 90. 3, 5. Angle 53. This always, you should remember this triangle. This is 37. 53, what about this? 53. Pair of alternate angles. These two parallel lines, transversal line, 53, 53. 37, this also 37. Now comfortably I can apply Lami's theorem now. T1 by sine of T1 by sine of opposite angle, 90 plus 53, sine of 90 plus 53. T2 by sine of opposite angle. This is the opposite angle. 90 plus 37. Sine of 90 plus 37. One more. 5 by sine 90. 5 by sine 90. T1 by sine of 90 plus 53 cos 53. T2 by sine of 90 plus 37 cos 37. 5 by sine 90 value 1. What about the cos 53? Cos 53 3 by 5. What about cos 37? 4 by 5 is equal to 5. Now equate these two. T1 is equal to 3 by 5 into 5. Now what is that? 3 newtons. Equate these two. T2 by 4 by 5 is equal to 5. This multiplied here, 4 by 5 into 5. 5 cancel, 4 newtons. Now in the exam they ask the ratio of T1 T2. T1 value 3, T2 value 4. Now the ratio of T1 and T2 is 3:4 is the answer. This is asked in the previous exam. Now simple Lami's theorem we can apply, otherwise resolving of components of forces also we can use. Starting I don't know the angles. We have traced out the angles. It's a fixed triangle 3, 4, 5. It's a 90, it's a 53, there's 37. The given length of the wire is 4 centimeters, length of the wire is 3 centimeters, fixed support having 5 centimeters. Now 4, 3, 5 triangle, it's a 90, it's a 53, it's a 37. 53, 53, 37, 37. T1 opposite angle 90 plus 53. T2 opposite angle 90 plus 37. 5 newtons opposite angle sin 90. Applied Lami's theorem, T1 by sine of opposite angle, T2 by sine of opposite angle, and weight 5 newtons by opposite angle. After this calculation, T1 I got as 3 newtons, T2 I got as 4 newtons. Final our answer is the ratio of T1 and T2 in the wire is 3:4. So today what we have learned? Today we learned condition for collision. Next one, Lami's theorem. Before Lami's theorem, polygon law of vectors also we discussed. So today we discuss these three concepts. Next we will discuss dot product, and after that we have cross product also. Please practice these all the concepts and have a nice day. Thank you.